For the ghoul friends who, like us, can't fully function without our morning cup of coffee and have to make everything spooky, meet Coven Coffee. Each coffee has its own unique blend with an adorable name to match, like Cinnaspell, Cosmic Chocolate Hazelnut, Wicked Awakening, and more. You'll have to let us know on the podcast which flavor is your go-to after you've tried them all. The packaging alone with Coven Coffee Company is so adorable and perfect for our listeners. Go to covencoffeecompany.com and use 2ghouls20 for 20% off of your entire order today.
Hello, everyone. We'd love to introduce you to the paranormal podcast Ghouls Trip.
We are a podcast duo run by two female ghost hunters, Ivy and Hannah. We love to research, investigate at, and sometimes debunk your favorite haunting tales. We also dive into the land of cryptids and legends and lore from far away.
Right now, you can find episodes covering topics such as the famously haunted Sallie House, the infamous West Virginia Penitentiary, Bigfoot, the Salem Witch Trials, and so much more.
You can find us on most podcast platforms and Instagram at Ghouls Trip Podcast or Twitter at Ghouls Trip Pod. We hope you'll join us on our Ghouls Trip.
Do you love iced coffees from Starbucks, macchiatos from Dunkin', or McCafe from McDonald's? Meet Java Sock, your drink's new best friend. With Java Sock, gone are the days of the drips, condensation rings, heat, or cold on your hand. With hundreds of adorable seasonal, personable styles to choose from on their site, there's a Java Sock for every on-the-go drink you can think of. Coming in an array of sizes, cuts, and shapes, there's a sock for every occasion. Visit socket.com or by clicking the link in the description and use code 2ghouls10 for 10% off of your entire order anytime from now until April 20th, 2022. Thank you, Java Sock, for supporting Two Ghouls Podcast. We're going to take a second to talk about today's sponsor, The Lesson Foundry. The Lesson Foundry is a 100% remote music lesson site. They have passionate and incredibly skilled teachers that provide classes for singing, flute, guitar, just to name a few. With all lessons being totally remote, this resource gives you the opportunity to maximize the time you have with your teachers during each lesson and less time commuting to your appointments. The Lesson Foundry is extremely easy to use and laid out in a very user-friendly format. You can see details about each and every teacher, including how many years of experience they have, degrees that they have in the field, and other related achievements. All lessons can be catered for you to learn exactly what you want and how you want to. Most half-hour sessions cost between $35 to $40 per week, and sign-ups are for 1 month. However, you can cancel it at any time. This is a perfect gift for yourself or for the music lover in your life. The Lesson Foundry has been kind enough to provide our listeners with an exclusive promo code for $25 off of your purchase of any lessons by using code 2 GHOULS 2 Ghouls. Call 410-404-8226 to speak with a representative about the Lesson Foundry or click the link in the description below. Thank you, Lesson Foundry.
Welcome to the Two Ghouls podcast. I'm Katie, and this is my lovely co-host and cousin.
Sam. Really?
What? Like, I don't believe that shit.
I don't know about that.
They photoshopped their grades, and they did it for months.
Oh, hell no, I'm not looking at that. Oh, hell no, I'm not looking at that.
Wow. Until they got
King Petty, Michelangelo.
I literally have a picture on my computer screen right now. It's fucking real, dude. Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Hello? Welcome. Cheers, bitches. I'm so glad you're here. It is vacation for me, so I'm drinking tonight. I hope you guys don't mind. If you do, get the fuck out of here, because I'm drinking and I'm a little bit belligerent. So excuse me for that. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm drinking for two, in case you didn't know. Sam is pregnant, so I have to drink for her, and it just is what it is. I'm at my parents' house in the Keys, so it's a little bit loud. I might end up going over to the hammock where it's a little bit more quiet. It's closer to the dock. And I'll be on the water. I know I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm a little bit buzzed. Excuse me for that. But yeah, welcome.
Do it.
Okay, good. As long as you're okay with it, I don't care what anybody else thinks.
I love it. I
know you do.
You could be slurring your words and drooling.
I'll be like,
and I'd be
hey,
like, yes,
pussy. And you'll be like, okay.
And I'd be like, let me show you this video, and you spill your drink all over yourself.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, woohoo! Well, welcome. This is the Two Ghouls podcast. In case you don't know, this is episode 29, which is unfucking-leavable. Can you believe that we're already on episode 29?
No,
crazy,
that's insane. And we
crazy.
have like
Crazy, if I will.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
We have like 70 videos or something on our
I want to say this is like our 69th or 70th video on our
69.
YouTube. So yeah, guys, there's plenty of content for you guys to go and binge watch. We've done plenty of spooky content. We've just now started doing The Sims. So if you guys are into The Sims and you just want to like smoke, chill, drink, or like have a snack, you can come watch us play The Sims. And we build spooky houses, and we're really terrible at it, but we have a good time. We have a great conversation. It's just a lot of fun.
Everybody has been really enjoying The Sims lately.
Yes!
Like literally the
we
first
got like
time
80 views on it.
Literally
People
the first
really
time
like
that
this
Katie
shit.
streamed The Sims, we got almost 90 views.
I
was
know.
like, what the hell
I was
is going on?
okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind. But anyway, yes. So tonight's going to be a great night. We're going to jump into part 3 of the Into the Woods series. So I'm excited. Sam, do you want to kick off whatever we're getting into with oh wait, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to do horoscopes. We got to do trigger warnings, and we've got to
Let
do.
me just do trigger warnings to
any
get that bullshit out the way.
Yeah, just get that bullshit out of the way.
Today's a collab.
It is a collab. Go check out. What is the name? It was. I'm scared of this. Hold on.
No, it is This Creeps Me Out podcast.
That's right. They're great. We love talking to them. They're awesome. You guys should go check them out. I want to say they're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Buzzsprout.
They have a Podbean account. So
Podbean. That's correct. Okay.
Yeah, and their Instagram is thiscreepsme.out. So go follow them on Instagram. They're a fairly new podcast doing the same sort of stuff that we do, talking about creepy stuff. So go check them out.
And they're reading the first half of one of the stories that I'm going to be reading tonight.
Yeah. So if you want to check out the first half of the story, you're going to have to check out their episode, which I believe drops tonight or tomorrow.
I want to say, something like that.
I think it's supposed to be today at some point.
Yeah, I want to say that's correct.
So go check them out.
That is correct.
All right, trigger warnings. If descriptively, supposedly true stories centering around gory real-life topics, paranormal encounters, and or anything surrounding extremely descriptive true narratives involving terror, murder, sexual interactions, mental health, anything violent or potentially cruel in nature, we suggest that you get the fuck out. This podcast is not for you.
Do I need to say it again? Do I need to say get the fuck out? You don't belong here. If you get easily offended, guess what? You don't fucking belong here.
This is the worst episode for y'all to be watching when Katie's
Newsflash. Yeah, I'm drunk. I'm belligerent, and I'm in spooky mood. So just fully expect that this episode is going to be horribly offensive for whatever reason, even though we're the most politically correct people that I think I know.
I think so.
At least I would like to think so.
I don't know. I'm pretty vocal about my like political opinions outside of the podcast, but I'm very just like I'm here.
You better be kind. I swear to God, if you have a horrible opinion about trans rights, I'm going to slice you open.
I will full-blown fight somebody.
We do not fuck around.
And you know what?
With this shit.
Funny?
What?
I literally was going to the bathroom earlier. I was literally peeing and I was like, I wonder if we should bring up like the whole current situation with like the Roe versus Wade trying to get overturned.
Fuck yeah.
Because
that's kidding me?
Scary.
Bitch. If you are a part of that crowd that decides that they want to like bring this argument back as if it's going to ever, first of all, abortions are always going to happen.
Of course.
Period. They are always going to happen. Somebody's going to make up some concoction. Somebody's going to shove some hanger up there. It's going to be what it's going to be. If you ban abortions legally, you only ban safe abortions. Fuck you if you want to get rid of abortions. Fuck you.
I totally
You don't
agree.
know what that person's situation is. You don't know if that person got
are
raped.
healthcare.
You don't know what that person's situation is. Yes, abortions are healthcare.
Look, we literally just we lost a viewer.
We lost a viewer. I know this. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Bye. If that was on purpose, fuck you too. Okay? Oh my God. I'm so strung out this episode. I'm ready to go.
We got him back.
Oh, he came back. Great.
Oh my god. Oh, okay,
Basement abortions or safe abortions?
That's
murder house ads. Agree.
I literally saw somebody that said if you are against abortions and you are for Roe versus Wade being overturned, you have blood on your hands, because the amount of people that will end up dying, not just the fetuses, the zygotes, and the, what's the word for it?
Fetus,
like a tapeworm. What is it? It's like there's a host and a parasite. That's it. The parasites. It's not just gonna be them that dies or whatever, but
but
coming over from this Creeps Me Out podcast to finish listening to the stories. Yay!
Hi, Melissa. Welcome. Oh, we're so glad you're here. Yeah, tonight's episode is going to be a little bit unhinged, so apologies in advance. Yeah, I'm officially on the hammock.
Katie's gonna fall asleep.
I'm gonna fall over.
She's just gonna flip out of the. Could you imagine just halfway through the episode just flipping out of the hammock?
It would not surprise me.
Honestly, great content there.
Yeah.
I've drank 3 bottles of water in like an hour and a half, and I've been peeing every 10 minutes. So if I get up a couple times, guys, bear with me.
One time, I drank a whole gallon of water, and I had to miss a class because I was having what is it called when you have when you drink too much water? Do you know what I'm talking about? You can kill yourself if you drink too much water.
Like poisoning? Like you poisoned
yourself? I was on the cusp.
My God.
I was on the cusp. And I had to skip out of class because I was like, yo, I feel like I'm going to die. And then I ended up peeing for the rest of it. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt like I was going to throw up. All sorts of things. My head was hurting. Oh, yeah, bitch. I was about to eat shit.
Oh, my God.
Yes. We're so glad you're here, Melissa. Welcome.
I've got Katie's horoscope pulled up if you want to hear. Oh, it's also Star Wars Day, so may the 4th
may the 4th be fucking with you or else.
All right, Katie says, you might decide to spend a large part of the day working on a project that requires a lot of mental energy. Plans to spend some time with either a close friend or lover might not turn out to be quite what you'd hope. Your friend could be in a rather gloomy mood. A relaxing evening, perhaps a concert or funny movie, can release tension and boost bad moods.
You know what? Today I've been in a really weird mood. You know why? Because I've been eating a lot. I've been drinking a lot. So I feel super bloated, and I already have a lot of self-consciousness around my body.
Right.
So today's been kind of a weird day. So that kind of spoke to me.
You were really hardcore dieting for a while because you're like, I gotta get vacation ready. And then you're like,
I lost 14 pounds, and now I feel like I've gained it all back because of how much I've been eating. I've been eating cookies, I've been eating key lime pie, I've been eating mahi fish sandwiches, all sorts of shit, French fries. It's been amazing. I've been enjoying myself, but I have an eating disorder, so I'm I'm feeling all sorts of things.
It's do I pump the brakes or do I do it? Do I do it 100%? And your brain's just keep going.
Yes. Every fucking time, bro. They released the first half of the story earlier today. I love them. Yes, we love them too. I'm so glad that you enjoyed watching them because now you're in the Two Ghouls podcast realm where we're going to fucking scare the shit out of you.
All right, let's see what mine is today. And then I'm going to have to pee. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no. It's okay.
I think I said a couple episodes ago, I was like, my pee breaks are going to become more frequent the farther along this goes. I'm almost 7 months pregnant.
I know. People need to fucking understand. You gotta pee when you're pregnant, okay?
All the time. I'm staying hydrated. That's the best that I can do.
That's the best thing you can do.
All right, mine says a lack of communication with an unhappy family member could have you feeling a little downhearted. You might wonder if you've done something to offend this person. Chances are that you haven't. The best way to handle situations like this is to encourage the person to communicate with you. That's not always a good idea. If there's no response, wait a day or so and ask again. The gloomy mood will pass, so don't make yourself crazy over it. I don't know about that. My mom came over today.
Did you have an argument with her? Spill the tea.
No, she annoyed me a little bit, but
the horoscope is true.
But it wasn't
what?
It wasn't a big deal.
Clearly it fucking was. Your
No, it
horoscope
wasn't.
Other fucking was.
She's gonna text me after this and be like,
She's
"What
gonna,
did I
how
do?"
dare you?
I don't know. There's been lots of stuff with like family members going on a lot lately. Maybe it's talking about you. You don't want to communicate with me because you're on vacation.
How dare thee? I totally do. Joey's trying to keep me from you. He's like,
It's
you
all
don't need to
right.
work.
I'm
You
just giving
don't
you shit.
need to work. That's
I'm
what he
just giving you
says.
shit. All right,
Yes,
here's
Rebecca, we will
Becca's.
do your horoscope for sure, for sure. Sagittarius.
Old memories, traumas, and phobias from the past could affect your mood today. You might feel depressed without really knowing why. An event in your life has brought these feelings near the surface without revealing the source. If you had any disturbing dreams or visions lately, write them down. They might offer a clue as to what's bothering you. Meditation or free association could also bring the release of what you need. Interesting.
Okay, so be mindful and meditate.
I gotta
Sounds like good
piss.
advice. Take it. Yeah, take your time.
I'll
good.
be back.
I'm gonna entertain everybody. I'm a little bit.
Oh, I'm also wearing the merch.
Hey, you better show
Merch
that
with
fucking
the
off,
baby.
bitch. Let me see it. Aw, she's so cute. Pregnant, but we also have to. Yeah. Guys, go check out the Two Ghouls merch on twoghouls.com. It should be up in the right-hand tab. You'll see a tab that says merchandise, and you guys can support the podcast while wearing really cute merch and looking really cute. And I just created a whole new spring collection, and it involves like a tank top. I went ahead and I made us like a hoodie, and on the back of it, it has a skull and it says never too old to bloom. And I thought you guys would like that because it's like, hello, we're all out here. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter where you are in life. You can always bloom. You are always capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. All right, Melissa. They also started loading podcasts and spooky stories on YouTube. I tried linking their channel, but it didn't work. Oh, shoot. I wish there was a way that you could do that. I will go ahead and put them in the description of our podcast so that you guys can go check them out. ABC, or no, it's not ABC. It's This Creeps Me Out podcast. Fairly new, but they are great. We love talking to them. They're really sweet, right?
Yeah, they're so nice.
Yes.
I brought toilet paper over here because my nose runs. Anytime we start the show. Oh, me too, Melissa. So
Taurus. Great.
The one that I read is for you too.
Taurus.
Hopefully you're not fighting with anybody.
Yeah. Family, friends, don't know. And did that resonate with you, Melissa? I would love to know. I always love to know when if any of it like speaks to anybody. But yeah.
I have a TikTok? I have one video that I had saved in a Woods notepad on my phone, and I think I saved it weeks ago. This fucking cat, DNA.
I thought it was your kids.
No,
it was like
Bob.
I love Bob. We love Bob.
That
we love
right
him.
there.
It's so cute. Boober. Boober.
Let Bobby in there. And look, all of them go running. Just Bobby.
Take off.
Okay, sorry. I have one video that I saved like weeks ago. I don't even know what it is. It's like, it feels like the Ring VHS tape kind of.
I want to watch.
I don't even know what it is. It's just the one singular.
Probably me in the morning. Oh my God. Do y'all hear that?
Yes.
Hello? A fucking helicopter?
A helicopter. It sounded like a lion.
You can't say helicopter. That's a bad word.
Helicopter. Oh, I'm glad that it resonated with
me.
you.
My mood is everywhere. Such chaos. I'm glad you also match Katie. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Bro. Horoscopes have been kicking my ass lately. They've been like, fuck you, bitch. And I'm like, I know. You know?
I don't know if you have to like push my stuff through, but anyway.
Helicopter.
Pulling this up. What kind of alien shit is this? Okay.
Let me see.
In the middle of the woods. And I see something up a hill off the trail. So
what? Why is there a bird bath?
It's like I don't even know what that is. It's not a bird bath.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What am I seeing here? This is crazy.
with like weird writing on it, like
Ew.
some other
It was
language.
in the middle of the woods. Are you kidding me? I would be freaking out. I'd be
And she's
screaming.
right up next to it, bro.
I'd be like, helicopter, helicopter.
I'm flying away.
Oh my god, that was creepy. What the fuck? I feel like as a child, I saw the creepiest shit in the woods, but I don't remember because I just treated it like it was fucking normal. Swear to
also
God.
lived right next to a graveyard.
Yes. So like, why was I more okay with finding like shit in the woods? Like the whole staircase in the woods shit that I'm about to read with you guys. I feel like I totally saw a staircase in the middle of the woods and just wrote it off. Like totally normal, you know? Swear to God, I feel like I did it. It just doesn't seem that crazy to me.
I could like see you and your brothers like running around in the woods, fucking around, and you being like, "Huh, stairs in the woods," and Cameron and Connor being like, "I'm gonna jump off the top."
Yes, be like, noted. All right, I see you. You see me. We see each other. You know, like that's how I feel like it would have been. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I saw in the woods. I don't remember. What can I say? I know. Do you want to go first or you want me to go?
I've got a couple and most of mine are pretty like short, so I'll do a couple.
Okay, I'll finish this out.
Yeah. Let's see.
Helicopter.
Yes, that's me. That's also me in the Google Doc. Can I open these, please?
No.
What the hell?
Incorrect.
My phone's freaking out because I have the Google Doc open on the PC and I also have it on my phone. And so it's like, wait. There's two of you. Open the link. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay, Cosima thought that thing was like a sundial. I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, it had like the weirdest writing on it. But maybe it was like an alien sundial. We don't know.
Aliens.
We don't discriminate. Aliens.
Okay. So I found a thread on Ask Reddit, and it's what kind of weird or scary things have you seen in the woods or forests? And this user said, I worked for the Forest Service for a few years. What still freaks me out was the time that I was miles up a gated road alone in the middle of nowhere. After finishing up, I got back to my truck and a piece of ripped out notebook paper had been placed under the windshield, and all it said was, "This is my land. Please leave." It still freaks me out how someone got all the way up there. This was on Forest Service land with no private land around it. Yikes. Weird.
Yikes.
Spooky.
Oh, do you hear that? Oh my God, someone's car is going off. I'm going.
It sounded like it was about to play Doja Cat.
What'd you say? Someone else's, not ours. That's for sure. Nope, not us. That's all they're worried about. Helicopter.
All right. This one is also from Ask Reddit, but it's from a different thread, which is actually a really popular one. And it said, what is the creepiest thing that you've seen in the woods, mountains, deserts, caves, or small towns, in remote or rural areas, while on large bodies of water, while on an aircraft or nautical vessel? So it's literally, have you ever seen anything?
Like how they had to specify.
Right. And this user says, I was driving home after an extremely late night at work. I lived in the middle of nowhere. About a mile before I got there, a woman covered in blood jumped out of the woods into the middle of the road screaming. I panicked and went around her, then slammed on my brakes to help. Her boyfriend had beaten her and was currently chasing her in the woods. I got her in my car and called the police, and they met us at the hospital because I told them that there was no way that I was waiting on the side of the road when he was coming.
Oh my God.
Which
stop.
The scariest thing about this,
being in the woods, and then someone's like, my boyfriend's beating me up. I'm trying to get
covered in blood.
What did you do? Oh my God.
But you know, like what's so scary about this is that there are people who will fake shit like that to get in your car, to hurt you, to rob you, to sex traffic you.
Stop.
So it's like, it's what do? Do you help or do you keep going?
Are you a fucking idiot and you help, or are you a fucking idiot and you don't help? Like, which side of the idiot spectrum are you on? Like, oh my God. Ugh, that's so scary. I would be freaking. I would be
Spooky.
freaking.
I
would be
wouldn't
like,
know what to do. I would probably help, and then I just
I
have
know,
to.
and then be
I'd
like,
have
oh
to
my God,
fight or something.
what am I doing? Same. I would be like, no, there's a greater risk if I don't help you here.
Right. Like I don't think that I'd be able to leave somebody alone if they were genuinely. You know what? I have a story. I have a personal story.
Oh, please tell.
Now that I'm thinking about it, and this kind of goes with the wood stuff. So this was when I was still living with my parents, and my parents live in a cul-de-sac, and they're the only house in the cul-de-sac. So it's like a big open cul-de-sac where normally there would be several houses in the circle, but they're the only house in the circle.
Mm.
And across the street, there's a bunch of woods, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Oh my God, 1,000% on the dot correct with the horoscope."
Oh, that's
crazy.
Good. I love it. I love it when people are like, "Oh, it resonated with me." I'm like, "It's fucking weird." Like sometimes it gets me. But anyway, there's a lot of woods around your parents' house.
Yeah, there's a lot of woods around my parents' house. And so this was when River was probably 1.5, 2 years old ish. No, I must have been a little bit older because she must have been a little bit older because I was dating Danny. So she was like probably 2.5.
Yeah.
And also 5:55. I don't know if y'all can see that. This numerology shit is fucking weird.
The context, Sam has been noticing every single time that it's been like 4:44, 2:22,
3:33, 11:11,
11:11, 1:11. Like it's just fucking weird.
My Instagram followers dropped down to 333. And then right after I noticed it, I gained 2 followers.
That's weird. That's suspicious. You know what I mean? Strange. But yeah.
I don't understand. Cosima tricked something in the universe to be like, bitch, listen.
It's starting to scare me. Yeah, like Sam's been noticing angel numbers everywhere. And I'm like,
I like screenshot this shit and send it to Katie. And I'm like, what is going on?
What is going on? I know. Oh, Rob and Candace say on this creeps me out. It's always an owl's fault.
Oh.
Kind of like in witchcraft? Question mark?
Or like the fourth kind, like the fucking owl.
Yeah, like the fourth kind.
I hate that.
That movie was scary.
So, okay. So River was like 2.5. And at like 1:00 in the morning, one morning, somebody is banging on the front door. I mean, like banging and screaming. Dead ass serious.
Oh my God.
We were all in bed. And so we got up to go like see what the hell was going on. And it was this lady who was barefoot and was in like PJ shorts and a tank top and no bra. And she was saying, "Please help me. 2 guys just robbed me, beat me up, and threw me out of the vehicle." And so we're like, my dad is in his underwear at the front door. Like we were just gotten out of bed. We're like, okay, we're going to call 911. And she's like, "Please let me inside. Please let me inside. I don't know where they're at, blah, blah, blah." And my parents, this also isn't the first time that this has happened at their house, because their house is kind of secluded from the rest of the neighborhood. So my parents are like, okay. My mom's like, "I'm going to shut the door and go grab my cell phone. I'll come outside with you and we'll call 911. Right. This bitch, when my mom goes into the front door, there's a glass door and the big front door. The front door was just open and the glass door was shut. She goes, opens the glass door and steps inside. And this woman sits her ass right on the door threshold so that we could not close the door.
Oh my God.
My dad went and got the gun because he just wanted to be, he didn't like come out with the gun, but he like
just in case. Yeah.
Right. And we ended up calling the police, and she couldn't give an accurate description. She said that she met some guy on a dating app, and was out in the car with him, and that he had laundry in the back seat, and apparently there was somebody hiding under the dirty laundry in the back seat, and then they took her purse and threw her out of a moving vehicle, and she supposedly walked all the way through the woods to our house.
Are you joking?
And the
What
police,
fuck?
I swear to God.
Oh my
And she was like, she begged me to drive her to, she lived in like a completely different town, which is like 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
She begged me to drive her. The police would not drive her. I offered to pay for an Uber for her, and she refused. She wanted me or my mom to drive her.
Interesting.
And
So
the
a
cops,
sex trafficker.
they literally
Interesting.
couldn't find anything about what the hell she was talking about. All that they told us was the next time this happens, because it wasn't the first time, I'm sure it's not going to be the last, don't open the door. Talk to them through the window, call 911 for them. Do not open the door. And it's scary when you really think about that. Spooky.
Fuck, bro. That's crazy. Imagine, oh my God, yeah, that coming straight to your door. Like, I hear all the horror stories about women having it happen at their cars.
Oh,
Or
hell
like
no.
there's
I'll
something on
drive
their
off.
windshield. Or yeah, oh my God, one time that happened to me because Joey came by the gym when I was at the gym and he stuck a note in my car. I did not
remember that.
I did not fucking open up that note while I was standing there. I grabbed it, went in my car, locked the door, sat down, turned on the car, and read the note. And I was like, oh, it's just Joey. Okay. But I was
don't
like,
do that, Joey.
out. I was like,
I know you're trying to be sweet. The fuck.
I was so pissed. I was like, oh my God. I had a heart attack. I was like, oh, this is it. This is it. I knew this was going to fucking happen at some point in my fucking life.
Somebody's going to kill me.
Cosmos says 555, major transformation. We're changing energies with retrograde and eclipses and rebirth with awakening of spring. 5 out of 5 portal tomorrow.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means, but
that's the date
that's
tomorrow.
fucking crazy. Oh, is it?
5/5 is the date, yeah.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo.
Makes sense.
Mm,
All right, let me pull up another one of these stories.
Let's do.
Let's. I'm a sneaky
Let's
snake.
do it. I'm a sneaky little snake. Slithery little snake.
All right. I found a deer with its hind end ate up. A few feet away was a coyote with the hind end ate up. Then another few feet away, a fox with its hind end ate up. Nothing else was there. No bullet holes, no signs of an arrow or anything else. Couldn't find any tracks from other people or animal. It was pretty creepy. Found in the hills of West Virginia. And there are like several people on here that are like, I'm from Appalachia. Can confirm.
Stop! Oh my God, I used to spend so
goosebumps.
much time in West Virginia. West Virginia, there's something about the energy there that is different. It's scary. It feels old. It feels like an old soul living.
I've never
West
been there,
Virginia.
but Danny went to college in West Virginia. And he's just like, mm-mm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody else said I went to school in Southwest Virginia. As soon as it was dark, it was the creepiest place.
Yes.
Somebody else said I've got family out near Roanoke, part of another property, literally touches the Appalachian Trail.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially
weird shit.
Roanoke. Oh my God, Lynchburg at night.
Roanoke for sure.
Fuck me, bro. It's fucking scary. Roanoke, yes. Yes. Did you see I don't think it was about Roanoke, Virginia. I think it was about Roanoke from the Eastern Shore. But the American Horror Story season, Roanoke?
Was it that here?
Oh
or was
God,
it in like
was
Connecticut
it?
or something? I'm about to
Stop. Please look it up right now or I'm
about
scream
to.
my head off.
Is it like Connecticut or was it here? It's like the
Oh
Roanoke.
God, please. I hope it's not in Virginia. Please don't be in Virginia.
It's like disappearance because it was like a whole village of people who disappeared. Where was it? The lost colony of Roanoke.
So it was. Oh wait, okay.
Hold on.
North Carolina. North Carolina.
Oh yeah, North Carolina.
Ew.
Okay.
I still hate that.
I don't like it.
The safest thing to do is call an emergency number from a locked car. That's
Yeah,
exactly
for
how I
sure.
feel. Yes, anytime that I've ever experienced like something that would make me ponder or wait around outside of my car, I grab it, I immediately sit in my car, lock the doors, and just decide what I'm gonna do because I know as long as I'm in my car and I'm safe and the doors are locked, I'm good, you know? Mhm.
I don't know. I'm so hyper aware of everything around me when I'm out in public, which is why I really think that the pandemic especially has like given me some sort of like mild form of agoraphobia. I mean, I always have been like a really aware person because my mom taught me from like a young age, be aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
But like with the pandemic and stuff, you have to be aware of like sick people around you that aren't wearing masks or just like coughing or whatever.
I know.
And so like I don't know. I feel like I'm just more like visually aware of like what's around, where I'm parked, who's in the same aisle as me at Walmart or at the grocery store.
I know.
Like last weekend, we went to the grocery store and it was just me, Danny, and Arrow. And we were checking out and my back was hurting. So I had asked Danny if he could put all of the groceries up on the conveyor belt, which is normally something that I do because I'm like very like I have a process of how things go up on the conveyor belt so that hopefully when they're bagged up, everything that goes together is in the same bags.
In the same
and
way.
He doesn't know how to do that.
Yes, I'm the same fucking way. I know.
And he's also so slow. It's like
so.
Yeah, he is that too. But there was like this dude behind me. I think I told you like right after it happened, there was a guy behind me and he was like talking to himself and he kept inching closer to me. And he got to the point where he was only like a foot behind me. And I thought he had like AirPods in and was like on the phone, but he was talking gibberish.
Oh my God.
None of what he was saying made any sense. I don't think I heard a coherent word come out of his mouth.
I'd be screaming on the inside.
Not only that, was he like standing there talking to himself. He didn't have AirPods in. He wasn't on the phone. When he put his stuff up on the counter, Katie, like honestly, this is kind of funny, but also terrifying.
Screaming. Oh my God.
This guy, all he was checking out was a bag of Skittles and a half-drank gallon of milk. This man walked around the grocery store and drank a half a gallon of milk. Murderer. You are a fucking murderer. Dangerous person.
Stop, you psycho.
I swear.
We don't drink milk, especially gallons of milk. And Skittles? Are you pregnant?
In a pack of Skittles. It was fucking weird.
I would be screaming on the inside. I had that happen to me today at a clothing store. Someone walked up behind me and just wouldn't stop getting close to me. And I was like, like watching him, like, are you good? Are we okay?
I hate that.
Like, oh my God, people get too close. And I'm like, you are a psycho. I don't like you. Don't get near me, you know?
I hate it.
So,
it's like back the fuck up. Get out of my bubble.
Back the fuck up.
Oh my God. Now
Get the fuck out of my bubble. I can hear them. It sounds like your children. It is bizarre how loud they are. They're like, no!
They're mad because like everybody is in the bedroom except for the cats. And so the cat is like,
I can hear them. No!
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It sounds like
sorry to like the audio only listeners. They're like, God, this fucking annoying cat. I don't even have
excuse me. If you have a problem with Bob, you have a problem with me.
It's actually Zeus now that's crying. But
excuse me.
It was Bob at first.
I love Bob. Bob is my favorite.
God, he's my favorite cat
child
I've ever met in my life.
I would die for Bob. I would die for Boob.
Boobert.
Boobert.
Meow.
Here's one.
Me and my friend decided to take our 4x4s and go camping in the mountains. I wake up middle of the night, meow, because I need to take a piss. So I put on my headlamp and I walk a bit further from camp. And as I'm doing my business, I hear rocks shuffle behind me as if they're being walked on. Anxiety rises. I finish up and turn around. And as my headlamp faintly lights up the area around me, all I see, about 20 of them, and just staring at me, eyes. My breathing stops and I literally freeze where I'm standing. And then I hear, bah.
What?
It's literally a fucking herd
Shut
of
up!
mountain goats.
I would run, okay? I would be
Imagine.
pooping my pants.
Could you
Oh my
fucking
God.
imagine? I would shit
Oh my
myself.
God. Oh my God. If I hadn't already pissed, I would have pissed myself right then and there.
Right?
Oh my God.
A fucking cat. Oh my
Jesus
God.
fucking Christ. The kitty wants in.
He's got like the longest, most depressing meows. And the thing, it's so weird because he's not usually one that even wants to go into our bedroom.
He is upset.
I guess so.
He's pissed.
Okay, I've got another one. This is probably less scary than a lot of the other posts, but I was pretty sure I was going to be the nameless victim at the start of a horror movie to show how dangerous the monster is. Basically, my dad and I were walking through the woods when we came across a young moose leg lying on the ground. It looked like it had been violently torn off with no sign. Oh my God, Danny! Let the cat in!
That's how I am with
Now he
Woody.
comes over here. Go away.
This is exactly how I am with Woody. Woody will not fucking shut up. He goes, and I'm like, shut up.
Thank
It
you.
makes me so mad. There we go.
It drives me insane. And
Problem solved.
I can tune out the annoying children's shows. I cannot tune that out.
I know. I fucking know. I do the same thing with Woody. Woody, my
Now I
fucking
gotta
dachshund.
get back into my I felt like I was doing well. Okay.
Unseen.
Basically, my dad and I were walking through the woods when we came across a young moose leg lying on the ground. It looked like it had been violently torn off with no sign of the rest of the moose anywhere. It was with fresh blood still on the wound, probably no more than a couple of hours old. My dad is a pretty skilled hunter, so he handed me his axe that he was carrying and told me to watch for wolves while he started looking for tracks. After a little bit, he came back saying, "That's weird. Normally, if it was wolves, you'd be able to find paw prints, but I can't see any. Also, no bear prints, so I have no idea what killed this." And so I'm like, "You didn't find any tracks at all?" And his very reassuring response was, "Well, I did find what appears to be the mama moose tracks headed this way, showing me the tracks. You can see how her stride is a lot longer here. Whatever killed her baby, she did not want to fight it, and she took off running."
Oh
He
my
then
God.
he then pulls out his bear spray and holds it at the ready as we kept walking deeper into the woods with the unnamed non-track leaving predator armed with bear spray and an axe. And there was a reply to this that says, "When a fucking moose flees the scene, you better run." And somebody said, "Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, I don't fuck with things that can win head-on collisions with cars," talking about a moose. So if a moose is scared and
You better
running away,
fucking run.
get out.
What is it though? That is what is so mysterious to me about people's stories about being in the woods. I'm like, what is it? Why haven't we found it yet? What? Like, oh, just fucking
So
crazy.
strange.
Something about the woods, bro.
It's
Specifically
it's so mysterious. That's why. Because like you can find creepy shit in the woods all the time, but
Yeah,
you
of
might
course.
not ever find a fucking answer.
Yes, that's what I mean. I'm like, what is
Mhm.
with the woods? It just fucks with me, bro. I'm
I think I've
listening. I'm
got-
looking up the stairs in the woods currently.
All right, I think
So
I've
I
got
have
one
it.
more left.
Okay.
And I have to pee again, of course.
No worries. No stress. You're cooking a baby.
All right,
If
let's
someone
see.
has an issue with it, you can get the fuck out.
Fight me.
Fight me.
All right. Cowlitz River, Washington State, camping with my dad and sister and my buddies. Early 90s. Something was throwing rocks and sticks into our camp. We shined a flashlight out and caught a reflection of eyes and a silhouette. very, very tall. It kept throwing stuff in our camp randomly for about 15 minutes. We just stoked the fire really high. In the morning, I woke up to heavy footsteps in our camp and something reeked. I woke up my dad. He shook the tent and yelled, whatever it was, ran off. Fucking scary.
Fucking crazy. Oh my God. All right. What did Melissa say? Melissa said, I did drive through the town of Burkittsville, aka Blair in Maryland. Blair Witch Forest. It was so cool. Are you kidding?
I went to a church camp in there. I went to a church camp
What
in
was
that.
that like? You're gonna have to delve into that a little bit.
One of the first times in my entire life that I ever saw something with my own two eyes.
It was there.
The whole group that I was with booked it.
What did you fucking see, bro?
I was with 2 guys and another girl. We were supposed to be doing like a church activity thing, and we just kind of like snuck off because I was just a bad kid, I guess.
I understand.
And one of the guys was my boyfriend at the time.
Yes,
so
of course. We're gonna go crazy here.
At first, behind the girls' cabins, if you walked a little bit through the woods, there was a big open field in the middle of the woods.
Ooh.
Turns out was a graveyard. We didn't know that.
God.
We're just chilling in the big open field, and we start like hearing shit like walking around, like sticks breaking and stuff. And we were like, probably just animals, but kind of freaking us out. So we're gonna run. We're gonna go somewhere else. So there was like this little pond at this church camp thing, and it had a dock on it, and it was right next to the big building where the whole church service. It was like a game night type thing, and I was like, I don't want to play fucking foosball. Like, I want to hang out with my boyfriend. So we were like, okay, well, let's just like walk towards the pond area. Oops, sorry. And there was what looked like a girl standing on the dock in like white clothes that looked soaked with water, long dark hair, like straight out of the rain.
Stop it!
It sounds
Are you
so
fucking
stupid.
with me right now?
I swear
bro?
to God.
Oh my God! I don't want to
God.
believe that. That's fucking scary.
But it also sounds so cliche because it's like long dark wet hair,
soaked
long
with
white
water,
like
white
so
dress,
stupid.
black hair. Yeah.
And we were like, yo, what the fuck is that? And it was like, as soon as we all realized that there was something standing at the end of the dock, she jumped into the water.
Stop it!
And we took off. I
Oh
swear.
my God, I don't want to hear this.
That's one of
I
my
don't wanna
first.
believe it.
That's one of my first like actual paranormal. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Shut up. That's fucking not ever gonna happen real. I don't believe it. I'm scared. That's so fucking scary.
I don't believe stuff like that until it's in front of my face too. Like, I also on that church trip, I almost got attacked by a goose, which was equally as terrifying. It was scary.
That was probably the scariest part.
Geese are mean.
They are.
I don't fuck with geese.
I don't
anymore.
fuck with geese. I also
They're
don't fuck with
mean.
sheep or goats.
Chickens.
Chickens. Oh my God, I had a scar on my leg from my fucking rooster when I was growing up. Swear to God, chickens are
I will
evil.
never forget that.
No way. Guineas. Ducks are
There
cool.
was one time when we were, I think it was River was like 1 year old, and the chickens were like out free roaming at your mom's house, and they were like in that little stretch of woods right next to the chicken coop, and there was like a hawk or something flying around.
I remember. Yes, and we had to go chasing after one of the chickens.
And I'm
because we're
holding
like,
River.
"Uh-oh."
I'm holding River on my hip, and your mom is like, Samantha, you better back up because them chickens are mean. And I was like, Christy, I will punt your chicken across the yard. Like, I am not scared of your chicken.
The sound of you punting a chicken. I've done it. Okay, people, I don't give a shit. I am not an abusive person. I'm not an awful person.
No.
But I have kicked the chicken before. They will come after you. And the sound of you kicking their little... Oh, my pen. I found it. Oh, Joey found it. I'm not a turd hopper. I'm just a chicken kicker.
Kicking kicker.
Chicken kicker. I'm a kicking kicker.
It's like you don't kick chickens for fun, but they are really mean.
I love animals.
if they want to attack you, they won't stop attacking you. Like they will come after you, and like the roosters have those fucking talons.
The
They're
talons.
mean.
My mom and my brother had to hold one of my roosters before, and we had to take off his talons because he was notorious for chasing after you with the talons.
Yeah.
And the blood that was coming out of this chicken's like foot was so gross. But like the talons would come off in like layers. Like it was like
I've seen
one
videos
layer,
of it, like
one
that you can take
layer.
them off. It's like a cat.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
It was so
weird.
gross. It was so nasty. It was fucking
Ew.
nasty, bro.
Also,
Yeah.
if anybody has ever like spent any time in the country around farm animals or anything like that, you
Please.
know that if a chicken is attacking you, the one and only answer to kick the chicken.
Kick the
and it's
chicken.
sad, and they don't even fucking care.
And you won't even fucking disappoint me because I've been there. It's okay. Chickens sometimes, if they're coming after you, they need a good kick in the pants, you know? And some chicken look like they're wearing pants.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you have
And
lived in the
hats.
country, and hats. And if you've lived in the country, if you have lived in the look at me in my eyes. If you have lived in the country, you fucking have had some kind of traumatic animal death. I swear to fucking God. I swear to fucking God, y'all are not gonna fucking believe me on this one, okay? I swear to fucking God, this is fucking real. If you don't believe me, get the fuck out of Kuwait. I don't give a fuck.
Oh
okay?
my God, that's funny.
I had a bunny rabbit, and this bunny
Oh,
rabbit
no.
was named Skittles, and he was brown like a regular bunny, like a bunny that you would find in the woods, like a brown bunny, you know? Like, oh, look at that bunny.
A little bunny
That
foo
was my
foo.
bunny. His name was Skittles, and I bought him when I was in college, and I came home from college one time, and I was obsessed with this bunny rabbit. He went with me everywhere. I had a little harness for him. He went on
Oh
walks with
my
me.
God,
I gave
Katie.
him baths in the sink. He was my love. He was the love of my life. I love this fucking rabbit, but he ran away. And I swear to God, like if I could swear upon my own grave, I would. I was upstairs in my dad's office and I was working on the computer and I looked outside and what do I fucking see but an eagle flying in the fucking sky with a fucking rabbit that looked just like mine in its claws and its fucking talons. I swear to fucking God, this was real. Nobody ever fucking believes me. And I was like, Skittles, Skittles, like, oh my God. And then it went over the trees, and I never fucking saw it again. I never saw that rabbit again. I swear to God!
Into a TikTok, please! Oh my God!
I swear to God, it fucking happened, and nobody believes me. Nobody believes me. Fuck me in the ass. Oh my God.
That's
swear
fate.
to God. I swear to God. I swear to. I could bet on anything. I would bet my life on that story because it fucking happened. You don't believe me? Get the fuck out of Kuwait, okay? That really happened.
It's fucked up.
It's so fucked up. The way his body was hanging was so fucked. Like it was so fucked. Seeing your pet be in the talons of a bald eagle is so fucked.
Oh
like I hope
God.
nobody ever experiences that shit. Anyway.
Ugh,
and scene.
Oh, I got tears coming down.
I swear to God, I
We
could
can
sit here and
literally
talk
go-
about deaths of animals for life, bro. You want to know about? You want to know about hamsters? You want to know about guinea pig traumatic stories, chickens, ducks, I have it all, okay? I literally have been through every traumatic animal death since the beginning of time. But anyway,
That's
I
literally
digress.
like that one time that we were children and Lily got out of the house when the chickens were out and Lily came and just snatched that chicken up and I was like, I literally just turned my back because I was like,
Don't
chicken's
look.
gonna die. Yeah, don't look because the chicken's gonna die. And your mom's
It happens
running out.
so often. My fucking Jack Russell Terrier named Lily was a cold-blooded killer. Like she didn't give a fuck about anything. She killed for sport. She didn't kill to eat. She grabbed them by their stupid little pencil-thin necks and shook them around, and then would fling them on the ground, and they'd be like dead with blood coming out of them, and she'd be on to the next. I swear to God, she didn't give a flying fork about those chickens.
That is so funny.
Yes. Oh my God, the trauma
never
I've been
forget
through
that.
with animal deaths. I could go on for hours. I could go on for hours. I could make a whole podcast out of it. Swear to God. Oh my
Two
God.
ghouls animals.
You want to talk about a traumatic hamster death? Because I got one of those. My hamster used to pop his eyeballs out.
Ew!
And would pop them back in with his own hands, with his own claws, and would go right back in. You don't believe me? If you don't believe me,
I've never heard that. Like I've never heard.
God,
like
bro, my hamster
ran all the way.
Oh my God, I got to tell you the rest of this fucking story.
Wait, like all the way out,
all
like
the way
dangling?
Out. Yes.
No
like hanging by its little thing, like the string of the eyeball or whatever you want to call it. And he would go right back in his eye socket. Because
zombie.
My brother loved the hamster so much, like he would squeeze it a little bit too tight, and then it would go poop.
Its eyes would
and his eye, and he would take his hand, like he would take his little claw hand and grab the eyeball and go clop right back inside. Like I swear to God, I can't make this shit up. I can't.
That's fucking weird. I don't know, Katie. I don't. That's hard
to
believe.
I know. I fucking know. I know. Nobody ever believes me when I tell these stories. But you want to know something else? This specific hamster would also run away, and we had a dry bar where you could make like drinks or whatever. And since we didn't use it when we were younger, my parents didn't have a lot.
Calvin, the hamster?
No, Calvin was great. Calvin was an awesome guinea pig. But we had a hamster named Fizzy, and this hamster would run away by going underneath of the dry bar where we kept the hamster cage, and he would go inside of our walls and not come back for months. One day, and listen to this shit, because you're not going to believe this shit either, okay? I swear to God, I can't make up these stories. This hamster would live in the walls, and every now and again we'd hear like, ting, 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 ting. And we'd be like, what is that noise? And we'd come out and we would see a hamster with his fists inside of a dog bowl cage, getting food and shoving it in his mouth. And he would go booking it. And he'd go he'd run through the kitchen. And he'd be like, and it'd be so big. Like his cheeks would be so fucking huge with dog food. Well, okay. We thought this fucking hamster died. We thought this hamster ate it. Like, we're like, there's no fucking way this hamster's alive. No way. My dad was doing a renovation on a kitchen one day, and when he was taking out the panels of the light switch, dog food just comes pouring out. And what do you fucking know? Fizzy in all her glory comes pushing through the dog food, and all the rest of the dog food comes out, and Fizzy's just like looking around, and we're like, Fizzy! And we grab Fizzy and we put her back in the hamster cage. We love her again, and then the eyeball situation has happened at that point. And then the hamster runs away again, and get this shit. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. My dad has recently taken out the wall of the kitchen that the hamster lived in. And wouldn't you fucking know it, he found the mummified body of this hamster.
No way!
And I asked him about it. I was like, you did not find that hamster in this wall. I don't believe you. I swear to God.
Insane.
I digress. Hey, all I can do is relay the message.
That
I
is
swear to God, this
story,
fucking happened. My childhood with animals was very traumatic. Like, I mean,
want a whole episode spooky animal stories and just let Katie have at it.
Yes, Melissa says chickens are the closest thing to raptors. Cue Jurassic Park theme song. Agreed. They are. They are exactly like dinosaurs, and they are dinosaurs. That's what my brothers and I always said. They are. They are. They're like descendants of raptors, I want to say. Like, they're fucking unhinged. Yeah. Anyway,
or evil.
I digress. Hey guys.
Let me go pee really quick, and then you can do
take your time.
I don't know if I ever went pee a second time, but
I don't think you did. I'm gonna go ahead and
there you go. I held it for y'all, and then you can do your story. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh my God, my fucking childhood. Let me just tell you. All right, guys, check this out.
For the ghoul friends who, like us, can't fully function without our morning cup of coffee and have to make everything spooky, meet Coven Coffee. Each coffee has its own unique blend with an adorable name to match, like Cinespell, Cosmic Chocolate Hazelnut, Wicked Awakening, and more. You'll have to let us know on the podcast which flavors your go-to after you've tried them all. The packaging alone with Coven Coffee Company is so adorable and perfect for our listeners. Go to covencoffeecompany.com and use 2ghouls20 for 20% off of your entire order today.
Guys, you just would not believe the shit that I've been through as a child. The animal deaths. And I'm trying to think of anything else that really happened, but chickens probably were the worst animals that we ever had. And I've got countless scars on my legs from chickens. Countless scars. So yeah, chickens can go fuck themselves. I hate chickens. They're worse than pigeons. They are worse than seagulls. They are worse than any nuisance bird you can think of. I hate them.
Come on.
I will go to the grave saying I hate chickens. They're great for eggs.
I have had a traumatic, like very brief chicken experience, but not. It was at one of our family members' homes a long time ago. We don't have contact with anymore. But I was like 6 or 7.
Oh God.
And he had a chicken coop and he was like, yeah, go get some eggs. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna go get some eggs.
I'm on it.
Yeah. 6 years old. I'm like, hell yeah, that sounds like a great time. So I go out and you know how like some chicken coops, they have doors up on the top for like the nesting boxes. I open the nesting door and this chicken goes bark in my face. And I slammed the door. Never again. It scared the shit out of me. I think I peed myself actually.
God, I hate chickens.
It got in my face and everything because they get when they're broody or whatever, they can get really fucking mean.
They do, especially when you get near their fucking eggs. Oh
yes.
My God. I think this is
that must be my mom.
I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Never again.
Oh my God. God, chickens. Anybody that just joined, you're going to have to go back and watch the traumatic stories that we've been talking about with our pets because we've been through the ringer. I mean, really. Don't ever feel bad if you had a traumatic story because I can relate.
Yeah. My cat found a snake in the basement of my parents' house one time.
My God. I
think I told you about that. My dad was like, oh, I'm going to go get the shovel. He went and got the shovel, chopped the snake in half, threw it in the trash can like a weirdo, and half the snake's body hopped out of the trash can.
Oh my God. I'm going to put myself on mute. That's so gross. Oh my God. What do you mean it leapt out of the...
It was like, you know how like before the body sets into like rigor mortis or whatever, it does like those jerky things? It jumped out of the trash can.
Stop it. No, it didn't.
I swear to God. I swear to God. There's a blood stain in the carpet there still. I swear.
I can't stand snakes. I want to murder them all. I understand. there is a specific crowd of people out there. Oh my God, I'm high as fuck right now.
Yeah.
Bro, snakes can go fuck themselves, bro. My mom told me I was being too loud, but snakes can go fuck themselves. They can go fuck themselves.
I'm a slithery snake.
I hate snakes. One time I walked outside in my porch and I had my paddleboard leaned up against it, like, you know, like I'm a surfer chick or whatever.
Surfer mommy.
Yeah. Well, I literally was one day I was going out there to go surfer chicking and I grabbed it and I pulled that motherfucking bag and a king snake was underneath of my paddleboard.
Oh, hell
and
no.
I didn't even comprehend. Like my brain was like, what is that thing on the ground right there? Like I was like, that's a pile of leaves. Or maybe it's just a speck of light or a little
a hose.
It's a hose. Like my brain literally was like, no way. Like that is literally anything but a snake. And sure enough, that thing leapt up at me and was like, and I was like, oh my God, I can't stand snakes. Oh my God. One time I swear to God, I thought my mom was getting held at knife point when she walked outside one time because she walked outside, opened up the door, and on the porch was a giant black snake just sitting there, like sunbathing. And she screamed like someone was there with a knife. And I come running in and I'm like, what is it? That is where I get my fear of snakes from, is my
Your
mother.
mom?
My mom.
Is she scared of them too?
She's horrified of that.
Really?
She's petrified. Is your mom cool with snakes?
Oh yeah, my mom's picked them up before.
Joking?
There's like a picture that I have on an old computer of like my mom holding up a black snake, and she was like, "Oi, crikey, mate! Like, oh, look at this."
I can't. One time I held a snake, and it was because I was at the state fair, and the lady that was holding the snake was like, "You can do it, come on." And I was like, "No, no, no, no." And she was like, flop right in my hands. And there's a picture of me holding it on Facebook with a big flower in my hair because I was into wearing headbands with flowers on them. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so badass for all of my future boyfriends. They're gonna think I'm so badass. Like, I'm gonna
Right?
use this as my profile pic for a while. And I did, and I was like, shit.
I'm so cool.
Anyway.
I don't know what
Bro,
my mom
we
is
got
scared of.
off on
Mom,
a
let us know in the
tangent.
comments what it is that you're scared of, because I don't think
Yeah.
it's a fucking thing.
Everybody, let us know what you're scared of in the comments. Tonight I'm in a mood to hear from the chat. Let's
Yeah.
hear it. Let's hear it. If you're here, let's be chatting.
Mom, we've got to go get our nails done. Mine are starting to chip, and I got to keep up with Katie because
yeah. Oh my god, I was so excited when I got my nails done the other day. I never get them done, but look at how cute they are. They're
so
blue.
cute.
I was gonna get sparkles, but I was like, I'm good.
That color is
good.
perfect for you.
It's such a fun color. And I come down here, and in the Keys, the water's blue and crisp, like my dreams. And I was like, look, my nails match. So fun stuff. Oh my
I'm
Christ.
excited for your for the second part of the story.
I have the story right here. Melissa, this one specifically is going out to you. If you guys didn't catch the first half of this story, oh, here it is. What? She jumped on YouTube. I'm scared of burning to death.
Oh, yeah. That's
honestly,
like a terrible way to die.
Understandable. That is definitely agreeably more scary than snakes.
Yeah.
The one snake I killed, this is Costoma. I killed, of course, I chopped it, and it was pregnant. Are you kidding me?
Katie would lose her shit.
I would lose my gnarly shit, bro. I would lose it. All right. If you guys have missed the first half of this story, jump on over to This Creeps Me Out podcast. That they are doing the first half of this. And I've talked about this specific string of stories before, but it is about a search and rescue officer who is sharing all of the stories from his crazy experiences being a search and rescue officer in a national park forest. So very interesting. I will not say he's in the Midwest, but the stories he have are just wild. So if you want to catch the first half of this story, go ahead and jump over to This Creeps Me Out podcast, but I'm going to read the rest here. All right. One of the topics that I get asked about a lot here in real life involve things like the rake, R-A-K-E.
Oh, I know what that is.
I've never heard of that. I've heard of this, though, the Wendigo and other related legends.
Yeah.
I can't honestly say that I know a lot about any of them, but based on some light reading I did, I can say that I've heard stories that seem to be loosely related to them. You've heard the old age that legends like that come adage? I'm sorry, I've never heard of that word. That legends like that come from somewhere. I've never heard of that word. And I'm sure that's true, but you all know I do try to take things out of with a grain of salt. You have to out here. It's sort of like working in a hospital, I'd imagine. You could spend all day thinking about how many people have died there and how there are probably ghosts or whatever you want to call them all over the place, but it doesn't do you any good. It just makes it harder to do your job. I think a lot of us feel that way, and that's why we try to just go about our work like everything is completely fine. Once you get paranoid, there's not really any going back, and that's why a lot of cadets end up quitting because of that. My park especially seems to have a high turnover rate because the cadets graduate and get so freaked out about everything, and they just can't seem to let it go or objectify it. So you have to learn how to internalize things and just shut down. That sounds a lot like my mom in the ER.
Yeah, I can imagine you have to be able to do that to be able to continue working. I don't think I'd be able to.
I don't think I could do it. I'm way too attached to everything and everything that has ever come in my life.
Yeah.
I can't objectify everything like that. It just is so disturbing. But anyway, I understand you have to be like that to some degree. It just takes a certain breed of people.
Right.
I've talked to KD, who is that's an abbreviation for someone that he's met on his trip. I've talked to KD a bit about her experience because I want to know what she thought about the Wendigo. She didn't really have anything in particular to say about it. Aside from that, she didn't want to think about it that much. But she told me a friend of hers had something similar happen. I contacted this person, who we'll call H, over Skype, and they agreed to talk to me a bit. They're aware of my work here, and they're fine with me posting this story exactly as they wrote it. So here it is. I grew up in Central Oregon, and there's a reservation called Warm Springs about 2 or so hours from where I lived. I only mention that because a lot of people in my area have friends there, and a lot of the land in that area belongs to that tribe. When I was a kid, we used to go camping up there. Not on the reservoir, of course, but in that area, and I met a lot of the kids who grew up there. I got to know one kid specifically really well. His name was Nolan, and we ended up hanging out a lot when our families were in the area. Our folks got to know each other, so we'd all get in touch and camp around the same time. We'd camp for about 2 weeks, so we were out there for a long period of time. I asked him if he camped in an RV. Yeah, my dad had one, so I guess it wasn't really camping, but we'd take our tents and stuff and set them up on out away from camp most nights. I didn't like sleeping in there because I like being outside. And then we ended up talking a bit about camping. So anyway, sorry. One year Nolan and I were out there, and I think we must have been like 12 or so. We wanted to go out and camp near the river because we wanted to try night fishing. I think we must have been about a third of a mile from the main camp, far enough away that we couldn't hear or see anyone else, and I remember that. We were messing around about most of the day, and I don't really remember much about it, but we ended up building a fire at some point, and I was really impressed because he had this flint or something that he used to start it. I'd never seen anyone do that before, so I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, I got him to teach me how to do it, and we lit some stuff on fire, which obviously, looking back, was really stupid because it was in the middle of nowhere. It was the middle of fucking summer, and if I remember the fire warning was either at yellow or orange at the time.
Oy.
Oh my
Yikes.
god! But thankfully, we didn't start anything major, and when it got dark, we sat around and talked about whatever it is that 12-year-olds talk about. I don't really remember. What I do remember is that at some point he looked over my shoulder at the river and asked me if I could see something. The way our camp was set up, we were about 10 feet away from the river, and we were at the widest point, so it probably was about 20 feet to the other bank. It gets hot up there in the summer, but the water's still cold, which is important to note. I'd look over my shoulder and I could see something waiting in the river on the other side. From where we were, it looked like a deer, but we couldn't really tell because of the fire that we were sitting near. I got up to look closer and I saw a pair of antlers, so I figured it was a buck. But I thought it was weird that it was wading into the water like it was, and it was definitely heading for us. And I asked Nolan what he thought we should do. He's looking at the fire with this weird expression, and he tells me to sit down and shut up. So I do, because I'd never seen him act like that way before. He's whispering at me to ignore it and to just keep talking like we were, but I couldn't think of anything to say. He was saying something about an episode of some show, something random, but I couldn't hear the deer coming through the water, so I wasn't really paying any attention, and I kept trying to see over his shoulder, but he just kept talking. Every time I did, he'd sort of hit me on the arm and make me look at him. I wasn't really scared. I just remember I was just sort of confused, like, why was he doing this? But then I hear the deer come out of the water, and I could kind of make out what it looked like. And I realized it wasn't a deer because whatever it was walking on 2 legs. I
Oh,
started to
man.
get up. I was super freaked out, and Nolan just yanked me back down and talked louder about this television show. And I could tell he was just as scared as I was at that point, probably even more. He leaned in and poked the fire with a stick, and he whispered that whatever I do, I can't speak to it. I could see it come closer, and it stood right behind Nolan's back. I was honestly about ready to pee my pants, and I think I'd probably have run if I'd been alone, but I didn't want to leave Nolan, so I just kept sitting really still and sneaking glances at it. That's honestly probably what I would do. It
That's
wasn't that
fucking
tall,
terrifying.
but the way it carried itself was just wrong. Like its center of balance was screwed up. I can't really describe it, but
Oh
it
my
was kind of
god.
like it kept shifting too far forward. It just stood there and then behind Nolan for like this really long time, and eventually Nolan just completely ran out of things to say and was just kind of we just kind of sat there for a second. The fire was making noise, like popping, and I thought I could hear this thing talking in a really low voice. I couldn't hear what it was saying, and I leaned forward a teeny bit, and I actually did pee my pants when I leaned forward too. I couldn't see its face, but I did see its eyes. They were cloudy and milky, and if you want to know what they looked like, Find that scene from Lord of the Rings where Frodo falls in that lake and all the dead people are floating toward him.
Ew.
That's what its eyes look like. Is she going to bed? Good night.
Night, Sunny.
Love you. Say bye-bye.
This story is fucking scary
Freaking me
because I
out,
totally
though.
believe it. And the thing is that I don't like talking about these things that they
I know. I've
I
heard that
hate-
they are very like hush hush. Nobody talks about them.
Yeah, very much so.
Anyway, that's what its eyes look like. So all I saw were these two white eyes floating above Nolan's head and the really vague shape of the antlers coming out of its head. I don't know what my face looked like, but at exactly the same time Nolan and I fucking booked it out of there and we ran nonstop until we got back to the main camp. My pants were absolutely soaked with pee, so I took them off as we were running and threw them in the bushes. We both stopped once we were in front of my dad's RV and we couldn't see anything chasing us, so we stood there. We caught our breath. I asked him what that thing was, but he said he didn't know. He just said his grandpa had only warned him that if anything ever came up to him when he was out in the desert, he was never, ever supposed to talk to it or listen to anything that it had to say. I wanted to know if he heard it talking like I did, and he said that the only thing he'd been able to understand was help you. I think we ended up sleeping in the RV with my parents, and the next night we went back out and didn't see anything. Bitch, I would never go back.
Went back out?
I know. That's the part that makes me instantly go, nope, this isn't fucking real then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I would never sleep
next
outside again.
night?
Would never sleep outside again. Ever.
Mm-mm.
In any capacity, anywhere.
That is a really scary story, though.
Mhm.
That those things are.
I don't fuck with that shit. Anything with antlers is taller than me, and if it's supposed to be a deer and it's standing on two legs, it can go fuck itself.
You
Like,
should
I'm
watch
done.
the movie The Ritual on Netflix.
I don't want to.
It's
I'm so
good.
scared. If you tell me to watch it, I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
Watch it.
So, oh my
It's on
God.
Netflix.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. I'm gonna get like belligerently drunk or belligerently high and watch it, and I'm gonna scare the
It's really,
shit out of
really,
myself.
really good.
I'm excited. Okay. All right. This story has got me like reeling right now.
Yeah, that one was spooky for sure. I had goosebumps.
That was creepy. Oh, it's not quite done yet either.
Oh boy.
That does remind me in a lot of ways of the Wendigo legend. There's a
Ooh.
phrase used to describe it that I think fits perfectly, which is that the Wendigo is, quote, the spirit of the lonely places. I know sometimes when I'm out in the wilds where I know there's no one around me for miles and miles, and I get this weird kind of craving that I can't really explain. I don't know if it happens to anyone else, but it's like this desire to consume. It's not like I crave anything in particular, but more of this weird, distracting hunger that comes from every part of my gut. I felt that before. That's scary.
That's
I
weird.
wanted to find out more about the Faceless Man. If I was able and found a few similar things, I asked around my circle of friends, and one of them said he was out doing repairs at a park in his area and he saw something kind of like that. This is the story referencing from what the other podcast was talking about, in case you guys weren't aware. We were having dinner in town, 5 of us, including myself. This guy, he was repainting an information booth and heard a man ask him for directions to the nearest campsite. He didn't turn around because he was up on a ladder, but he informed the man that there weren't any campsites nearby, and that if he headed down the road for about 4 miles, he'd find one at another park. He asked if he could be of any other help, and the man said no, and he thanked him. My friend said he kept painting, but he was listening, and he never actually heard the guy walk away. The second he came up and talked to me, the hairs on my neck stood up, but I wasn't quite sure
Ew.
why. I hate that because your body always knows before you
I
do.
know.
Ugh! Oh my
Ugh.
God. I had this really uneasy feeling about the whole thing, and I wanted to finish painting and just get out of there. I figured maybe part of it was that I couldn't turn around and look at him, but just something felt off. There was also this weird smell floating around even before
Oh,
the guy
God.
talked to me, kind of like old period blood. Oh my
Ew.
God, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever. That is the most descriptive, disgusting fucking thing I've ever heard.
Ew.
I had looked around to see what was causing it, but I didn't find anything. So I waited for the guy to walk away, but I didn't hear him leave, which made me think that he was just standing there and watching me. So I asked again if I could do anything for him, and he didn't even answer me. I knew he was there though because
Oh
I
God.
hadn't heard him leave. I wonder why he won't just fucking turn around. But I kind of understand. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Oh my God. I knew he was there though because I hadn't heard him leave. So I did this awkward turn on the ladder to look down and see what he was doing, but not quite look at him. Now, I admit I could have just it could have been my brain fucking up, but I swear to you, for like a split second when I turned around, that fucker didn't have a face. Like he had no face. It was
Ugh.
almost concave and
Ew.
totally smooth. And I had this
Ew.
heart attack because I couldn't even wrap my brain around what I was seeing. I think I started to say something, but like there was this kind of like pop inside of my head, and suddenly he was just normal, like a normal looking guy. I must have looked weird to him because he was asking me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm fine. He asks about the campsite again, and I point where he has to go, and he's like, I'm not from around here. Can you help me get there? Now, this is when I know
No.
something is really up because there's no way this guy got out of here and didn't know where he was. And for that matter, there is no car around. So how did he get here in the first place? I said I was sorry, but that I could not take him anywhere in a company vehicle, and that he's like, please, I really don't know where I am. Can you come with me and help me get out there? So
No.
now I'm seriously weirded out, and I agree with him completely. Oh my God. I'm
Ugh.
seriously weirded out, and I start wondering if this is some kind of ambush or like whatever. I told him I could call him a taxi to come out and take him where he wants to go, and I pull out my phone and he just goes, no, and walks away really quickly, but he doesn't
Oh
walk
my
out of the
God.
park. He walks back into the fucking trees, and I got right
Into
in
the
my
trees.
fucking truck, and I start to get out of there, like, fuck the paint or whatever. I looked in my mirror to see where he was, and I was leaving, and he was standing right at the tree line. I don't
Oh,
know how he got there so fast,
I
but
hate
this
that.
time I know that bugger didn't have a face. I know for a fact. He was just watching me leave, and right before I turned the corner, he took a big step back into the trees, and he blended in. It was the most wild thing, but it felt
Shapeshifter.
more like he just melted away. I
Oh,
can't.
I
I
hate
can't.
that. I hate that.
I absolutely hated that. Interestingly, right after this guy had actually
Ugh.
finished his story, someone else piped up with another one, but this one had a slightly different twist. Actually, I had something sort of weird like that happen a while back. I was out doing some trail scouting, and I was out in the middle of nowhere figuring out where we were gonna have this trail run through. Okay, so they're trying to figure out where they want a trail to go through. I hadn't seen anyone else for probably a good 2 hours, so I wasn't really paying attention to where I was going. I was just looking at the ground for the most part. Then out of nowhere, I crested this little hill and almost ran into this guy. He was older, probably in his 60s, and I started to apologize to him, like, sorry for running into him. And then I noticed his face, and I probably looked like a complete douchebag because I stopped and I just stared at him. It took me a second to figure out what was wrong, but this guy's face was huge. I know that sounds weird, but that's the only way I can describe it. His head
Ugh.
wasn't big or anything. His head was normal, but the amount of space that his face took up was just way too much. That's fucking crazy. Like
Oh,
if
that makes me
like if
uncomfortable.
you took someone's face and enlarged it, but
Zoomed in on
all
it.
but, like, about 2 times bigger. That's crazy. He doesn't say
Ew.
anything, he just kind of looks at me, and I backed up and was kind of stuttering and saying I was sorry. And I went around him and just fucking got out of there and did what I needed to do. The whole time I kept looking behind me because I was so freaked out that he'd pop up behind me or something. I would be freaking out.
Me too.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I swear to you, it was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen.
That's
Someone's face being big, but like someone like iPad used their
like
fingers and,
zoomed in.
zoomed
Yeah. Ew.
I hate
It's
that.
fucking
Like
weird.
the head being the normal size. Ew, I fucking hate that. Okay. I switched the topic to the stairs a little later, stairs in the woods. And there was a definite shift in enthusiasm and storytelling. No one spoke up at first. There's a real stigma around discussing stairs, even when we're away from work. But I broke the ice with a story of my own, and the guy who told the story about the faceless man told me this one, albeit very quietly. Couple years ago, I was camping with my girlfriend. We were out about 2 miles from the road at this site that I know of. We went to bed that night, but we couldn't sleep because someone interjected a funny comment and we were dangerously close to going off on another subject, but I got us back on track. Yeah, really funny, you fucker. No, I was going to say because we kept hearing a grinding noise. My brother used to grind his teeth in his sleep, and it kind of reminds me of that. But my girlfriend was like freaking out because I had just kept telling her to ignore it because I've heard it before, and you just have to ignore it. It goes away eventually. You guys know what I mean. We all knew what he meant. So eventually, I got her to go to sleep, but I woke up because 2 hours later, because something was just off. I rolled over, and she was no longer there, and I kind of freaked out because
Oh God.
he thought for a second, and then he took a very long drink. Anyway, I ran out of the tent calling her name, but I didn't have to go too far. She was standing at the edge of the camp looking at something in the trees, and I could see that she was really pale. The fire was low but bright enough to still see her. Anyway, I ran up to see what was going on, and she was dead asleep, but her eyes were open. She had this real spaced out look, so I put my arm around her to lead her back, but she wouldn't move. She just said really quietly something like, I have to go now, Eddie. I have to go. It's here. I was like,
Oh
you're
hell
just
no.
sleepwalking. Come back to bed. But she wouldn't budge. She just kept standing there and saying that she had to go. And I
Bye,
looked where
bitch.
she was looking. I would be gone. And there was a fucking staircase right there, about 15 yards away from us in the
No.
middle of the woods.
No.
Oh my God. Gray one. It was concrete. Anyway, she started to walk towards it, but I yanked her back and that woke her up. And she looked at me like I was fucking out of my mind. And she asked me, what the fuck was she doing out of the tent? I didn't tell her anything. I just told her that she was sleepwalking. The grinding noise was gone. So she just went back to the tent with me and fell asleep again. I don't know. I don't like thinking about it. We all knew. You guys remember that kid with, I can't remember what it was, some kind of brain fuck up? That's an awful way to describe that. Not
Yeah.
Downs, but something like it. Someone else brought up, well, I got to read the report that he gave when they found him a week after he went missing, and it was fucked up beyond belief. I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt. So just imagine everybody's sitting around telling stories around a campfire. That's how this story is going.
Right.
I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt because who knows what the kid actually thinks is real, but some of this stuff I don't think he could have possibly made up. Everyone's like, what? Well, first of all, he talked about the stairs. He said he'd been watching his dad build a fire and the stairs came up to him, end quote. And he
What?
had to go up them or something bad would happen.
What the fuck?
The cops couldn't really understand what he was talking about after that because he just kept saying, like a campfire over and over. And he kept mentioning sounds, but he couldn't say what sounds, just that it was loud and he covered his ears so he couldn't hear them. But the thing I remember most is that they asked him where he'd exactly gone. And he just said he was right there. He kept pointing at himself. They said, they thought that he thought he'd never left. So he said, no, I wasn't scared because the stairs were there. And he said that he talked to them, but not like people talk.
Like I said, it was really convoluted and hard to understand, and I have a feeling the cops didn't take most of it down when he was talking. They ended up just saying that the kid had some kind of amnesia or fugue, and they didn't explain or they didn't think that it was foul play or involved, so it doesn't really explain why he came back a week later perfectly fine without a speck of dirt on him and well fed. But hey, what the cops say goes, right? There's still a lot of questions I want to answer. I'll continue to ask around and find out whatever I can. The next update should be soon. Thanks for being so patient. If you guys want to hear more stories from that thread, let me know. Like this video, comment down below, because I love those stories. Stairs in the woods on Reddit. It's a no sleep story, but it is genuine. And I know no sleep is notorious for not being real, quote unquote, but those stories have got me reeling for the last 2 years of my life. I read them to anyone who will listen because they're that scary to me. Anyway,
those are spooky.
Scary as hell, bro.
Ooh, I don't. Couple of those
My
gave
heart
me
rate
bad
is up.
vibes.
I know. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks,
Tonight
guys.
was a great night. I had a very fun time explaining my traumatic animal deaths to everyone and seeing Sam's reaction because my life was very weird growing up, and
honestly
it included a lot of chicken death and a lot of chicken kicking. So, because they were chasing me, okay. I can't just stand there while the chicken is hurting me.
And they're fast as hell, too.
And they're very fast, and they will hurt you with their
Because
talons.
it's their little teeny tiny legs that can take really
Stupid chickens. I hate them stupid idiot chicken.
Stupid
Anyway, that's it for me. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.